This video is all about developing your confidence to the next level. Now that we have the right physiology, the right foundation from which to build from, you have the right body language, you have the right posture. Let's take things up a notch so that we can really begin to develop your confidence for the long term. I'm going to be guiding you through a classic hypnotic change strategy, which the benefit of this becomes is it's a technique that you can do practically anytime, anywhere, and nobody will know that you're doing anything, as with pretty much all of my techniques. Even better, the fact that this is now in your inbox means you can come back to it whenever you choose. Again, same with all my techniques. So if you need to sort of recharge the method or maybe even change it onto something else, that's absolutely fine. And I like to say that show is better than tell. So rather than continue to explain something which we haven't yet done, let's just actually do this in real time. Let's do it together now. And I encourage you, you should only ever follow along with this exercise if you are in a place to do so. So no driving, it's pointless anyway. You need to give this your full focused attention. And I'm going to be asking you to close your eyes, or to stand up for starters. So stand up, you're going to close your eyes and you're going to move around just a tiny little bit. So obviously no driving, no operating any machinery. Safety aside, let's begin. And genuinely stand up right now if you can. I can't, I'm in the smallest space possible, but hey, stand up, you'll have some space. And I want you to look down at the floor and begin to imagine there's like a big circle, almost like the size of a hula hoop. And just imagine that that circle is on the ground, just out in front of you. Now we're going to start to engage your imagination inside of this exercise. So for right now, follow these instructions carefully. Please look down at that circle that you've created on the floor, just out in front of you. Just begin to imagine, begin to allow, begin to visualize a circle just out in front of you. Just like when you're a little kid and you play pretend, allow that circle to be on the floor in front of you. This way now, as you close your eyes, you can imagine that circle is still out there on the floor in front of you. As if you've got like X-ray vision, you can see through those eyelids, looking at that circle on the floor, through those closed eyelids. And now imagine that circle. And the way that this works is that we're going to start to make use of some advanced high-level strategies most often used inside the change work strategies of hypnosis. And it's a concept called submodalities, which is all about breaking down reality into the individual components. So you could ask, say, 100 people, how do they feel? And they all might respond, I feel confident. But by then following up with the question of, well, what does confidence feel like to you? Now, that's when you're going to get 100 very different, unique answers. So with that in mind, I want you to think about your confidence and what that is for you. And as you consider this idea of being confident, notice how right now, perhaps even without having to suggest it, parts of your mind might be able to start reconnecting with confident experiences from your past, and noticing that your mind might even attach to events that you didn't even think that you'd be considering today. Perhaps positive experiences which now you can start to become aware of. And as you become aware of them, become aware of what colours come to mind as you imagine and reconnect with some sort of confidence experience. Just noticing what you can notice. It doesn't matter what experience it is. And as you're imagining that circle on the floor in front of you, perhaps positive experiences which now you can start to become aware of what colours come to mind as you start to imagine and reconnect with some sort of confident experience, and just notice what you can notice. And as you're imagining that circle directly there in front of you, in your mind, in your thoughts, now begin to fill that circle with that colour of that confidence. And as you start to connect and identify that confident, self-assured sensation, start to notice that these feelings that you're now noticing perhaps have a bit of a temperature to them. A temperature maybe slightly different from what you noticed before. And as you're imagining that circle on the floor in front of you, imagine filling that space up with that new change in temperature now, in whatever way is right for you. There's no right, there's no wrong. And as you're aware of the sights, of the feelings, of the temperature, I want you to allow yourself to start to become aware of some of the sounds that your mind is representing. Those things that you might hear as you connect with that confident experience. Whether the experience is real or imagined doesn't matter. What are those things that you can hear? Perhaps those things that you are saying to yourself. It might be a specific word. It might be a sound effect. It might be an applause. Maybe something that someone else has said to you at some point in the past. Something that you would like to hear them saying, perhaps. Just take a moment and notice what you can notice. And breathe into that now. Good. And imagine standing from this position outside of the circle on the floor in front of you. I want you to put that sound into that circle. Put that sound into that circle now. Because what we're doing right now, inside of that circle, your circle of excellence, is we are beginning now to fill that space up with all of the organic, unique representations, those building blocks of your confidence. And as you're imagining that circle on the floor in front of you, let it become even more vibrant. Let those colours become even more rich. Let the sounds become even more clearer, more precise, and let the feelings become even more defined. Because in a moment, I want you to let two things happen at the same time. First of all, at the count of three, specifically at the count of three, you're going to open your eyes, and at the count of three, don't bother engaging with me on the screen, just have your phone to the side, have your volume up, and at the count of three, let your eyes lock on that circle that you're imagining and creating in front of you. Ready? Here we go. As one, letting it become even more real in your mind, even before you open those eyes. As two, letting the definitions, the sights, the sounds of things become even more refined and empowered within you. Not bothering to connect with me. Focus on that circle on the floor in front of you. That's right. Good. You're doing great. 3. Let those eyes open. Look down at that space in front of you, that you, as if you could see that empowered state of mind that you're ready to go inside of. And begin now to imagine that from where you are right now is like a baseline of 0%, and the very center of that circle is a full 100% of that confident sensation. Because now, with either your left foot or your right foot, at a slow, gradual pace, like a dimmer switch, moving from 0, slowly ramping it up to 100%, now step inside of that circle. Feel it from the ground up, that body filling up with that empowered reality. Notice it, breathe into it. Notice how your body can respond to these representations of the temperatures, of the colours, of the sounds. Keeping your full focus, allow your eyes to close and really allow yourself to begin to fill your mind and body. Hear the sounds in your own ears. Breathe into it. Notice the temperatures shifting, perhaps somewhere inside that body. Breathe into it and feel the feelings. Connect with those sensations in just the way that's right for you. Breathe into it now. And as if you could start to become aware of the representations of the colours, of the sights, of the sounds. and hold on to this sensation. And as you hold on to this sensation, notice how, without even having to suggest it, your mind is now going out to those experiences where you wish to recreate this sensation of confidence. Be there as if you are operating from this peak performance. Realize now how it's always been there within you. You have everything you need right now there, just as naturally, just as normally as you deserve and desire. Now breathe into that sensation. Ramp it up, turn it up. Turn that sensation up as real and as powerfully as it possibly could be, and enjoy it. Notice what it feels. Because now I want you to leave those sensations in that circle and step out of the circle, back to the starting position. And just give your body a bit of a shake, have a look around. We call this a break state moment. So think about something else. Think about what you had for your breakfast or lunch or dinner this morning, depending on what time of day you're watching this. Great. Because now I want you to look down again. Allow yourself to see that circle and take a moment to let it become even more refined this time. Let it become even more realistic with all of the sensations, the colours, the sounds, the feelings in there. And only as you are ready now, step inside of it and feel those sensations filling up your body from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Close those eyes and allow yourself to fully immerse yourself into that feeling of confidence in whatever way is right for you. Allow yourself to connect in such a way that allows you to condition that ability to bring this empowered state of mind back on demand. Breathe into it now. And again, notice how automatically and naturally your mind can start to connect with experiences that haven't happened yet, the things that you will create, the moments that you will facilitate, where there you are now operating to your own best abilities. Leave it all in that circle. Let your eyes open and step out. Take a breath. Look somewhere else. Break state. Think about something else. Think about what you're going to have for breakfast tomorrow. Look around the room. Shake the body off. And look back down once again. And ask yourself, what else would be beneficial? You see, we can start to stack emotional states on top of that circle of excellence. Now we've got that confidence in there, which of course you can keep. What about some certainty? Certainty is a little bit different than confidence. Perhaps something else for you, but whatever that feeling that you want to create more of, I'll let it be your own choice here. This is yours to play with. Glance down at that circle and notice what happens as you start to throw in the colours of your mind, of that feeling in there. And notice how almost like paint mixing, like Play-Doh, all mixing together, the colour starts to refine and shift to something else. Notice what's new. Notice what new sounds start to layer on top of the first ones, and by doing so create a sort of stacked in the zone peak performance state of mind. Notice what other feelings. And check this out, because this time look down at that circle, and only as you are ready to step inside of it, fill the body up with those sensations. And if you pay special attention to yourself right now, notice that there's some positive unintended side effects that come from this experience. Notice perhaps as you're aware of these external sounds that you're creating. Perhaps it's as if the dialogue in your own mind, those words that you say to yourself, has become more focused, more refined, more crisp, more clearer, more encouraging and more positive. Maybe you've noticed that your very posture has changed ever so slightly. Discovering the way that your mind and body already know how to create this in the zone, peak performance state of mind to operate at your own best physiological and emotional mind state. Just breathe into this feeling now. Whatever it is for you, breathe into it. And this time, as you breathe out, you can hold on to that sensation, hold on to it, attach yourself to it in some way that is right for you. So that as you step out of that circle, holding on to that feeling now, just take a moment to relax and enjoy those sensations. Good. And imagine yourself in your next interview, or imagine feeling as you're feeling now, speaking up, using your voice in that way you've always intended to. To imagine that you're going out on a live stream platform, or perhaps even on a stage. Whatever that moment is for you, just allow the scene to play out with you gliding through the process in this peak performance, this ultimate state of confidence, calm, poised and in control. Good. And just relax. You did great. Now this circle of excellence is yours to use whenever you need it, without anyone even knowing that you're doing anything. Now the basic concept of this, we create it, we step inside of it. And again, practice makes permanent. So the more you condition this, the more empowering it becomes. Now if we just do this the one time, if we just do it this one time here, right now, does that create the entire result that you're looking for? The best answer I can give is maybe. Everybody's different. But then again, the nature of the brain, the concepts of neuroplasticity, neurons that fire together, wire together. The more we do something, the better we get at it. So where the more you make use of this strategy, the more easily and naturally it becomes to begin to trigger the states of mind of confidence on demand.